touch it, but notify staff immediately. Thank you.
G'day. We're going Blacktown to Marion, out to Richmond. On a Chinese-made Sydney electric train. There's more trains over there. That's the railway yard. That's the storage yard. And that used to be the old Blacktown golf course, which is now a housing development. Hard to believe. Yep. Google it. Blacktown golf course. It's gone. It's all that. Housing. Yes. This used to be the back of the golf course. I remember when I was a kid. Because there's the creek.
This train will stop at Marion.
Cars on that side over there. Wrecking yards, mechanics, and all sorts of things. City cars. There's Marion shops. There's the Blacktown station. It's an island station. It's also got an elevator, which is right there. There's the road over there. I've been down on several live streams. The road over there. And comes a kid on a bike.
This station is
Riding on the
Marion.
platform. And another one. There they are. The terrorists of the rails. Not really. Anyway, let's have a look. There we go.
Next stop, Quakers Hill.
Yes, Quakers Hill. It's named after the Quakers, the religious or non-religious Quakers. Do you remember them back in the 1800 era? Well, all the Quakers in Sydney moved out to here. They're called Quakers Hill because they could grow their crops and have their cattle and whatever else. Quakers Hill was a small farming area, and then Schofield was the bigger farming area, and then Riverston had the Riverston Meatworks 150 years later. And then it goes across the flats to the Hawkesbury. Big bridge. That's the motorway. Hello, I've got somebody there. You can give me a comment if you want.
This train will stop at Quakers Hill.
There's Quakers Hill. all that there used to be old little shops. All got rebuilt. Now look at this. Elevators, brand new stations,
This station
big bus
is
stops over there with
Quakers
nice
Hill.
awnings and bus
Please mind the
seats,
gap when getting on
security
or off the
cameras,
train.
nice footpaths, new handrails. I remember when Quakers Hill used to be a dirt track down there. The car park over there was in a paddock. It's just a paddock. It wasn't in the car park. That was about 1978. Oh, it's interesting, isn't it? And just down here, you can see the old level crossing. Here it is right here. Over there and over there. I don't know if I caught it then on the camera. Train's pretty quick. This is always the Quakers
Next
Hotel.
stop, Schofield.
Has always been a funny pub. It's right next to the motorway, but actual fact the pub was there first. Then they built the motorway through there, and then as you can see, it comes in this grass paddock. Well, this here used to be HMAS Narimba, and that's what happened to that. And all this new housing over here has only been built there in the last 20 years or 15 years, if that. And I can still remember coming out here and driving out here, and this, where those houses are, right there, was the Schofields Airport. And I used to drive in there and pick up a fare. And I used to come over the tracks. Where do I used to come over the tracks? Oh, up here where the road comes down and meet on the other side, the road meets the railway line. And you can see the cars over there in the background, I think. And we used to come, yeah, that's right, road was here. And used to drive in there, and that used to take us into the airport. Yeah, so I picked up a guy in there one day, Schofield's Airport in
This
1992,
train will stop at Schofield.
and he went to Bankstown Airport. But hard to believe there used to be an airport runway there. Great big shed. But you can Google photos Schofield's Airport. There's this huge, great big long concrete runway. This is now Schofield's, the big new train station. And people everywhere, elevators and stairs, awnings, car parks, BWS Bottle Mart, Woolworths supermarkets. All this here used to be a cow paddock. And all that there used to be dairy. That was a dairy shed just over there.
This station
Right where I'm
is
looking.
Schofield.
And Schofield's train station was straight ahead up here. We go down the hill, and right out front of the shops at Schofield's was the Schofield's platform, and it was on that side of the train, and it backed onto the back of the fire station, the fire brigade. So yeah, that's where it was. Then they moved it up here in about 1990 or something. They moved it up here. Anyway, my battery's going flat. I have to get off while it's still got power, so it doesn't go unchecked. Now look at this. This used to be a cow paddock. Mate, I'm 64 tomorrow, so there you go. We're coming out here below 64. Well, I remember 60 years of it, put it that way. And these houses here have been here the whole time. Yep, a lot of these houses here have been here the whole time. When I was a kid growing up. I'd imagine, isn't it? That house has been there my whole life. Look at it. What old joint? Oh, there we are. That's the old railway there. There's the Schofield shops. It was back there on top of the hill. And all this here was cow paddocks. Behind those houses, you can see the old houses. No, this here was a cow paddock. You see the newness in the buildings. But all they did was cow paddocks. Up here there was an old house right up there on top of the hill. And that was a dairy farmer's house. I don't know if he's still there. No, probably bulldozed it. See? And that's what it all used to be like that. That's all it was. And look at it. This is same as over here. All new shit. All these big new houses. My grandfather used to own all this land right here. All that there in 1940 was full of chicken sheds. And he used to feed all the eggs to Sydney. He had millions of chickens. And there's Gladstone Parade. Where is it? Where's Gladstone? Yeah, that's Gladstone. That used to be my auntie's house. And that's where he used to live, straight up that road there. It was called Robinson Street. Well, it still is. Now, all this here at Riverstone, see all those wrecked cars out there? Have a look. See if I can get it up. Pull me battery goes flat. All those houses here go underwater. Yep. They all go underwater. See how old they are?
Stop at Riverstone.
You might notice there's no new houses. They're all the old stuff. But the pub barely saves it. It saves itself. That goes underwater halfway up the door. That Monty's Pizza, that goes halfway up the door. And here we are, Riverstone. This is where I used to work. So there's a train on that side. And right there was the goods shed. And that's where the incinerator, whatever that silver thing is, where we used to have our drum to do our garbage. And that row line there was the siding for the goods line. And there was a second one in there. And then up here, you're going to see a bunch of old houses on the left-hand side. They're all condemned. But they all belong to the Riverstone Meat Company. And when you go past the Riverstone Meat Company...
Riverstone. Please mind the gap when getting on or off the train.
And then the Riverstone Meat Company was sold out about 1985. So all these houses got sold off privately. And then the big floods come in. Eventually they turned around and said, nah, we're going to condemn them. So they all got condemned. So we go down here. There's a road just there between that shed and the bushes. Sorry, the other side of the shed. And there it is there. It comes up just here. That's the old road. So it comes around the corner. And all this heat, do not enter. Look, all condemned. They're all owned by the Riverstone Meat Company. And this right there is where the railway line used to go. All condemned.
Next stop.
Yeah.
Vineyard.
It's when a meatworks used to employ everybody, you see. It was and that's where the train tracks went down there, next to that pole, and went into the back of the meatworks. And then when we get up here, you can see the old meatworks, how it's been transformed into a transport yard. Riverstone Meat Company built a great big new building there in 1977 as a freezer room. Now, that there used to be the office, and that used to be the gatehouse, that brick slab, concrete slab. You still see some of the old buildings. So they pulled them all down now, they're all gone. And it's now a truck storage bay, so they like to put the trees up so you can't see them there. But go on Google Earth, have a look on Google Earth. And up here is a big freezer room. right up here, just up here on top of the hill, so it wouldn't get flooded. There's, you can see, and there it is there. I was here when they were building that, 1978. Riverstone Meat Company built that. Huge, great big thing. All that there was built by Riverstone Meat Company back in 78. And that was their water supply. They had their own water supply, and because the town water supply was minimal and there was no sewage supply. And all that green grass there was all for cattle. And as you can see, there's no cattle out there now. There's a couple over there. There's a couple of cows. And there, somewhere. I remember the cattle trains used to come down from Tenter Field, Tenter Field, Tenter Field. All that green grass out there you can see, that was covered in cows, waiting to go to mass slaughter. Now look at this, all that there was a dippy hill. Now they're levelling it up and they're subdividing it, making it into factory areas. Look. Western storage, there you go. It's going to be a storage space. Unbelievable. Have a look at it. And just up there is Vineyard Railway, and you can see the Vineyard has got the Riverstone Sewage Works, which is out over the back over that way. And you can Google Earth it, of course. And this station here is the one I used to have to clean when I was 16 and 17 years old, and I'm 64 tomorrow. And this here used to be a little wooden hut. Love it how people cough. That used to be a little wooden building. And this dirty old woman used to come out there and shit on the seat and leave her poo-poos there. And all this here, this wasn't concrete, it was wood. Wooden railway sleepers made up the platform. And I used to come out here and clean that up. I used to take a bucket and a broom and just sweep it off out the back. It was an old-fashioned tin shed. You can still Google photos of Vineyard Railway Station back then. They put a ticket machine in down there once, just there. The thieves come out here and try to steal it. They didn't realise an alarm on it, security cameras, and the cops were here and nearly caught them. Well, they caught them. Old-fashioned money ticket machine. This old house over here, he used to be known as a junk dealer. And he had cars, there they are. Look, you can still see them. Cars and trucks all bulldozed up there to the edge of the fence. It's unbelievable.
Please keep your personal belongings with you at all times.
Anyway, you've got to save me battery.
Unattended baggage, please do not touch it.
Now,
But no
we call this town up here Mulgrave. And when I was a kid, we used to call it Slut Cemetery. Mulgrave, Slut Cemetery? Oh, terrible. There used to be a bloke, used to leave 4 o'clock in the morning. He used to live right there in that house. And he used to walk up here to the level crossing just here. And my father used to say to him what day he was driving on the first train, and he'd come up and he'd walk up beside the train tracks, because Vineyard Railway Station is way back there. There's his house, and Mulgrave is way down here. And he used to walk from his house 1.5 kilometres to get to the train station. Dad used to say, this is ridiculous. You got a railway station up there with no houses, and here's all the houses way down here. So Dad would come up the train tracks, and all the male workers, they're able-bodied, if they walked up along the side of the train tracks on the driver's side of the line, which is that side, going towards the city, Dad would stop the train and they crawl up the side of the train and get into the train. Pick them up back in from about 1960s till about 1980s. The railways wouldn't build a platform. They still haven't built a proper platform. There should be a platform back there at that level crossing, because there's plenty of houses there. Which you didn't see on this video clip is that on that side of the railway line, whole rows of houses right on that level crossing. There's about 30 houses, and it's ridiculous. And yet, where Vineyard train station is, there's hardly any houses. Well, I think you can leave me a comment. If I have blocked it to leave comments, I'll open it very shortly, and then you should be able to leave a comment. Here we are. We're coming into Slut Cemetery, Mulgrave. That there used to be the railway goods shed, and these couple of siding lines over there, and this is all new building here. Well, the other one refabricated. Yeah, and that's the that bit of concrete up there. That's the motorway that goes from McGrath's Hill to Windsor. That's the one over there that is above the Hawkesbury flood level. But it's also higher than the new Windsor Bridge over the Hawkesbury River. It's higher here.
This station is
That's why the
Mulgrave. Please mind the gap when getting on or off the train.
anyway. And this here is the beginning of the Hawkesbury. They're the first settlers' houses over there. That's where they grew all the crops, as you can see. There's cabbages and carrots, and this Asian family has been growing food crops here ever since I was a kid. So I suppose her grandmother and mother and great-grandmother. There they go, riding off. Very country town out here, very country town. I'll just swap sides. Now this is something that might sound well. I used to work here. I used to come out here and clean the railway signals when I was a kid. And I used to climb up this signal about as high as that steel pole. And this little narrow black steel ladder used to vibrate. You used to go down here to the main set of points or back up the other way. And the trainer dropped me off and go up there, put the kerosene lanterns in, clean them, and then get the train on the way back to bring me back, and then I walked down here and cleaned these ones. So, yeah, especially during summer, it was murder. Now, what we're doing here, this is a loop platform. Obviously, there's another platform, and we're waiting for the train from Richmond to come in. So this is actually a Blacktown to Richmond video. Sorry, it's not on the heading yet, but will be for time. Watch it later. Anyway, that old building right there is the old station master's house. Look at him go, look at him go. So the gates aren't down. There's trains on a red signal. Full stop, the timer goes off and the gates go up. And then the train approaches from Richmond. There they go. Look up the top, you see the gate arm go down. There she goes. There it goes. And 10 seconds later, the bells are changed to noise. Hear that? So there's only one bell now, it's not two. Rewind the tape, have a listen. And here comes the train. Orange one. And she goes. 6:22, the train up there at Tenterfield Railway Museum and the Byron Bay solar power train. They all used to run a regular diesel service right here. So for another video to look at is the Byron Bay solar power train, just a HOMINOID. This is where it used to run. And 6:22 in the museum at Tenterfield. It used to run here and I used to drive it with my daddy. Now the gates are still down because we are going to go. Nope. Okay, that cleared that. So we will go shortly. I think the gates have got to go up, and then I think they've got a certain amount of time before the gates can go back down again. I think they've got to give them 15, 30 seconds or a minute or something like that. There we go, 30 seconds. Keep the traffic moving. There she goes. She's on guard. Hard to believe, before she was born, I was here cleaning the station. Man, I'm showing my age. Great. Next stop, Windsor. I just hope my battery lasts this long. We're about to go. See, there's the road up there with all the cars flying over it. And then up here, here's the old station master's house. There it is there. It's all boarded up. Broken windows and God knows what, a bit goofy on it. I used to go underwater about 1.5 meters. And as you can tell, they've got railway flood dirt over there. Or flood dirt, it was on the train tracks. You know, so all the hay is built up there on the high ground. Yeah, see all these buildings?
Next stop.
That's higher than the flood level. Because they know how high it gets here. Because it's where the Hawkesbury River goes round the bends at a area called Sackville and goes round a U-turn, does the S-bends and the backwaters. See, all this ground here's been raised up. And here's the railway bridge that just barely goes underwater. And that's the one that was made out of wood. And my father used to drive across it when it was flooded, and you used to hear the crackle, crackle, clunk, clunk, clunk. And that's South Creek. Well, that dirty little bit of water there, this is its gully, is the whole thing. All that water comes from Liverpool, Campbelltown, the western part of Sydney, like Greystanes, Blacktown, whatever, St Mary's, Mount Druitt, Warrington County. Everything comes down through that one little narrow creek and it pours into Windsor River at the Hawkesbury at the Windsor boat ramp. And now you go and have a look at the Google Earth of Windsor boat ramp and you see how small that is. All the water for 1,300 square kilometres comes down the back, fills that little road up just over there. All that there goes underwater. All that there floods right over this road here and all fills up like a great big fishbowl. And the floodwater up here, there should be a sign up somewhere. So this road dirt base is up a certain height. There's a sign up somewhere and it says, oh,
This
flood
train
level.
will stop at Windsor.
Some places used to put up their own sign. That road there was a little bit under floodwater. Unbelievable. And there's Windsor. Anyway, I'm going to have to cut it short. I won't have any battery. There we go, Windsor. I'll come out here again tomorrow. I'll get a properly charged up battery. We'll have some fun with a proper camera. But yeah, this is Windsor. You know who Windsor is, don't you? The Queen of England. Prince Charles. King Charles. His name is Windsor. It's named after them. And there, see, look, there's the old Windsor Railway goods shed crane.